Well, as a rule, the more Euploid embryos there are, the higher the chances of building a family, right? Maybe 6 Euploid embryos are not needed. I mean, in terms of the statistics, usually you have one baby for every 2 Euploid blastocysts. So that would mean that with 4, you would be already in a good position. But again, this needs to be put in a balance. I mean, how many Euploid embryos you get in one round of ovarian stimulation? At 40, 41, as I said, you're going to need around 10 eggs for one normal embryo. So if the ovarian surface is good and you're still able to produce 10 or 12 eggs, you may get one normal embryo per round. And then if you're producing less than that, you have a lower ovarian reserve and you're just producing maybe 4 or 5 eggs in each ovarian stimulation cycle, then you may need 2 rounds for one normal embryo, and therefore pointing to 6 embryos in that scenario would be really unfeasible because we would be needing a minimum of 12 ovarian stimulation cycles, and no one can recommend that. And not even that would guarantee you having 6 Euploid embryos. So here you need to see what you can get per round. And as far as you're comfortable with that, and as far as you're adding at least 1 Euploid embryo per round, then it makes sense to keep going because that means that your ovaries are still able to produce these eggs, these embryos, and therefore, as far as you are ready to move forward, you can be accumulating embryos. Also, you need to put a limit here, and maybe 6 Euploid blastocysts is too much expectative for at 40, because unless your ovarian reserve is really good and your probability of having normal embryos is above average, it's going to take too long and too many cycles. So at the end, everything needs to put it in the balance. As I said, 4 Euploid blastocysts, if they're of good quality, could be enough for having 2 babies. So it's not impossible. It's difficult. It's going to take effort. It's going to take time. But if your ovaries are still producing normal embryos, the option is there.